Now come along, boys, and listen to my tale, and I'll tell you of my troubles on the Old Chisholm Trail. Come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yi, yippee-yay, come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yay. With a $10 hoss and a $40 saddle, I'm a-going down to Texas for to punch them cattle. Come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yi, yippee-yay, come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yay. I woke up one morning on the Old Chisholm Trail, a rope in my hand and a cow by the tail. Come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yi, yippee-yay, tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yay. With my blanket and my gun and my rawhide rope, I'm a-sliding down the trail in a long keen lope. Come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yi, yippee-yay, come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yay. I heard it and I hollered and I done very well, till the boss said, boys, just let 'em go to hell. Come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yi, yippee-yay, tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yay. No chaps, no slicker, and it's pouring down rain, and I swear by God that I'll never hurt again. Come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yi, yippee-yay, come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yay. A roping and a tying and a branding all day, working mighty hard for mighty little pay. Come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yi, yippee-yay, come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yay. I'm going to get married just as soon as I can, and I won't punch cows for no damn man. Come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yi, yippee-yay, come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yay. I'll sell my horse and I'll sell my saddle, you can go to hell with your longhorn cattle. Come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yi, yippee-yay, come a tie-yi, yippee-yippee-yay. A group of jolly cowboys discussing plans at ease. Says one, I'll tell you something, boys, if you will listen, please. I am an old cowpuncher, and now I'm dressed in rags. I used to be a tough one and go on great big jags, but I have got a home, boys, and a good one you all know. Although I have not seen it since long, long, long ago. I'm going back to Dixie once more to see them all. I'm going to see my mother when the work's all done this fall. After the roundup's over and after the shipping's done, I'm going right straight home, boys, ere all my money's gone. For I have changed my ways, boys, and no more will I fall. I'm going right straight home, boys, when the work's all done this fall. That very night this cowboy went out to stand his guard. The night was dark and cloudy and storming very hard. The cattle they got frightened and rushed in wild stampede. The cowboy tried to head them while riding at full speed. While riding in the darkness so loudly did he shout, trying his best to head them and turn the herd about. His saddle horse did stumble, and on him it did fall. That boy won't see his mother when the work's all done this fall. His body was so mangled, the boys all thought him dead. They picked him up so gently and laid him on a bed. He opened wide his blue eyes and looking all around, he motioned to his comrades to sit near on the ground. Fred, you take my saddle, and George, you take my bed. Bill, you take my pistol after I am dead. And think of me kindly when you look upon them all, for I'll not see my mother when the work's all done this fall. Last night as I lay on the prairie and looked at the stars in the sky, I wondered if ever a cowboy would drift to that sweet by and by. They say there will be a great roundup where cowboys like Dogies will stand, to be marked by the riders of judgment who are posted and know every brand. Roll on, roll on, roll on, little Dogies, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, little Dogies, roll on. I know there are many stray cowboys who'll be lost at the great final sale, when they might have gone to green pastures had they known of the dim narrow trail. But men like the steers that are local stampede at the sight of a hand, are dragged with a rope to the roundup, or marked with some crooked man's brand. Roll on, roll on, roll on, little dogies, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, little dogies, roll on. For they tell of another big owner who's ne'er overstocked, so they say, but who always makes room for the sinner who drifts from the straight narrow way. They say he will never forget you, that he knows every action and look, so for safety you'd better get branded, have your name in his big tally book. Roll on, roll on, roll on, little dogies, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, little dogies, roll on. We're up in the morning for breaking of day. The chuck wagon's loaded, the flapjacks at play. The herd is astir over hillside and vale, with the night riders crowding them onto the trail. Come take up your cinches, come shake out your reins, come wake your old bronco and head for the plains. Come roust out your steers from the long chaparral, for the outfit is off to the railroad corral. Whee! The sun circles upward, the steers as they plod are pounding to powder the hot prairie sod. It seems as the dust makes you dizzy and sick, that we'll never reach noon and the cool shady creek. The afternoon shadows are starting to lean when the chuck wagon sticks in the marshy ravine. The herd scatters further than vision can look, but you bet all true punchers will help out the cook. Whee! But the longest of days must reach evening at last. The hills are all climbed and the creeks are all passed. The tired herd droops in the yellowing light. Let them loaf if they will, for the railroad's in sight. So flap up your holster and snap on your belt, and strap up your saddle whose lap you have felt. Goodbye to the steers from the long chaparral. There's a town that's a trunk by the railroad corral. Whee! Away up high in the muggy elms upon the mountain top, a lion picked a yearling's bones and licked his thankful chops. When on that picture who should ride a trippin' down the slope, but High-Chin Bob with sinful pride and Merrick hungry rope. Oh, glory be to me, says he, and fame's unfading flowers. All mortal hands is far away, I ride my good top horse today. I'm top rope of the lazy J, hi kitty cat, you're ours. That lion licked his paw so brown and dreamed sweet dreams of veal, and then that circling loop swung down and roped him round his meal. He yowled quick fury to the world till all the hills yelled back. That top horse gave a snort and whirl and Bob took up the slack. Oh, glory be to me, says he, I've hit the glory trail. No mortal man as I have read durst loop a raging lion's head, nor ever horse could drag one dead until we told the tale. Away up high in the muggy elms that top horse done his best, through whip and brush and rattling stones and canyons floor to crest. Yet ever when Bob turned and hoped the limp remains to find, a red-eyed lion belly roped but healthy loped behind. Oh, glory be to me, says he, this glory trail is rough. But till the toot of judgment morn, I'll keep this tally round the horn, for never any hero born could stoop to holler enough. 3 sons had rode their circles home beyond the desert rim, and turned their star herds loose to roam the ranges high and dim. But up and down and round and crossbow bounded weak and wan, for pride still glued him to his horse and glory drove him on. Oh, glory be to me, says he can't be drugged to death. And now I know beyond a doubt, them heroes I have read about was only fools that stuck it out to end a mortal breath. All way up high in the muggy elms, the prospect man did swear that moonbeams melted down his bones and hoisted up his hair. A ribby cow horse thundered by, a lion trailed along. A rider gaunt but chin on high yelled out this crazy song. Oh, glory be to me, says he, and to my noble noose. Oh, stranger, tell my friends below, I took a ramping dream in tow, and if I never laid him low, I never turned him loose. I'm a poor lonesome cowboy, I'm a poor lonesome cowboy, I'm a poor lonesome cowboy, and a long way from home. I ain't got no father, I ain't got no father, I ain't got no father to buy the clothes I wear. I ain't got no mother, I ain't got no mother, I ain't got no mother to mend the clothes I wear. I ain't got no brother, I ain't got no brother, I ain't got no brother to drive the steers with me. I ain't got no sweetheart, I ain't got no sweetheart, I ain't got no sweetheart to sit and talk with me. I'm a poor lonesome cowboy, I'm a poor lonesome cowboy, I'm a poor lonesome cowboy, and a long way from home. You can't expect a cowboy to agitate his shanks in etiquette-ish manner in aristocratic ranks, when he's always been accustomed to shake the heel and toe at the rattling ranchers' dances where much etiquette don't go. You can bet I set them laughing in quite an excited way, a-givin' of their squinters an astonished sort of play, when I happened into Denver and was asked to take a prance in the smooth and easy mazes of a high-toned dance. When I got among the ladies in their frocks of snowy white, and the dudes talked out in wrappings that were simply out of sight, tell you what, I was embarrassed, somehow I couldn't keep from feeling like a burro in a pretty flock of sheep. Every step I made was awkward, I blushed a fiery red, like the principal adornment of a turkey gobbler's head. The ladies said 'twas seldom that they had had the chance to see an old-time puncher at a high-toned dance. I cut me out a heifer from a bunch of pretty girls, and yanks her to the center to dance the dreamy whirl. Laid her head upon my bosom in a loving sort of way, and we drifted into heaven as the band began to play. I could feel my neck a-burnin' from her nose's breathin' heat. She do-si-doed around me half the time upon my feet. She peered up in my blinkers with a soul-dissolving glance, quite conducive to the pleasures of a high-toned dance. When they struck the old cotillion in the music bill of fare, every bit of devil in me seemed to burst out on a tear. I fetched a cowboy whoop and I started in to rag, and cut her with my trotters till the floor began to sag. Swung my partner till she hollered and rushed for a seat. I balanced to the next one, but she dodged me slick and neat. Tell you what, I shook the creases from my go-to-meeting pants when I put the cowboy trimmings on that high-toned dance. He was just a lonely cowboy with a heart so brave and true, and he learned to love a maiden with eyes of heaven's own blue. They learned to love each other and had named their wedding day when a quarrel came between them and Jack he rode away. He joined a band of cowboys and tried to forget her name, but out on a lonely prairie she waits for him in vain. One night when the work was finished, just at the close of day, the boys said, "Sing a song, Jack, 'twill drive dull cares away." When Jack began his singing, his mind it wandered back, for he sang about a maiden who waited for her Jack. Out on the lonely prairie, where skies are always blue, your sweetheart waits for you, Jack, your sweetheart waits for you. Jack left the camp next morning, breathing his sweetheart's name. I'll go and ask forgiveness, for I know that I'm to blame. But when he reached the prairie, he found a new-made mound, and his friends, they sadly told him they'd laid his loved one down. They said as she was dying, she breathed her sweetheart's name, and asked them with her last breath to tell him when he came. Your sweetheart waits for you, Jack, your sweetheart waits for you. Out on the lonely prairie, where skies are always blue. I struck the trail in '79 with the herd strung out behind me. As I jogged along, my mind ran back to the girl I left behind me. The sweet little gal, that true little gal, the gal I left behind me. As I jogged along, my mind ran back to the girl I left behind me. If ever I get off the trail, the Indians they don't find me, I'll make my way straight back again to the gal I left behind me. The sweet little gal, that true little gal, the gal I left behind me. As I jogged along, my mind ran back to the gal I left behind me. Oh, the wind did blow, the rain did flow, the hail did fall and blind me. I thought of the gal, that sweet little gal, the gal I left behind me. The sweet little gal, that true little gal, the gal I left behind me. As I jogged along, my mind ran back to the gal I left behind me. Oh, she rode ahead to the place I said I was always glad to find it. She said, I'm true, when you get through, right back and you will find me. The sweet little gal, that true little gal, the gal I left behind me. As I jogged along, my mind ran back to the gal I left behind me. Cowboys, come and hear the story of Roy Bean and all his glory. All the law west of the Pecos spread his sign. We must let our ponies take us to a town on lower Pecos, where the high bridge scans the canyon thin and fine. He was born one day near Toya. He learned to be a lawyer, a teacher and a barber and a mayor. He was cook and old shoe mender, sometimes preacher and bartender, and it cost 2 bits to have him cut your hair. He was right smart of a hustler and considerable of a rustler, at mixing up an eggnog had no peer. Once he went to help Pap Winded, he got so absent-minded that he put his RB brand on old Pap's deer. As old Pap got right smart angry, old Roy Bean went down to Langrye. He opened up an office and a store. There he'd sell you drinks or buttons, or another rancher's muttons, though the latter made the other feller sore. Once there came from Austin City a young dude reported witty. Out of Bean he sorta guessed he'd take a rise. So he got unusual frisky, he up and called for whiskey, saying, "Bean, now hurry up, I'll darn your eyes." Then down he threw $10, which the same Roy quickly collars. The same Roy holds the 9 and hands back 1. Then the dude he gave a holler when he saw the single dollar, and right then began the merriment and the fun. The dude he slammed the table just as hard as he was able. The price of whiskey was too high, he swore. Said Roy Bean, "For all your fussing, your most outrageous cussing, you are fined the other $1 by the law. On this place I hold a lease, sir, I am the justice of the peace, sir. The law west of the Pecos is all here. And you've acted very badly." The dude he went off sadly, while down his lily cheek there rolled a tear. Now you boys have heard the story of Roy Bean in all his glory. He's the man who was the justice and the law. He was handy with his hooks, he was ornery in his looks, and now I ain't a-going to tell you any more. Oh, it's Little Joe the Wrangler, he'll never wrangle more. His days with the remuda they are done. 'Twas a year ago last April, he rode into our camp, a little Texas stray and all alone. 'Twas late in the evening that he rode up to our herd, on a little old brown pony he called Chaw. With his broken shoes and overalls, a tougher looking kid you never in your whole life ever saw. His saddle was a southern cack built many years ago, an OK spur on 1 foot lightly swung, while his hot roll in a cotton sack was loosely tied behind, and his canteen on his saddle horse was slung. He said he had to leave his home, his pa had married twice, his new ma beat him every day or two. So he saddled up old Chaw one night and lit a shuck this way, thought he'd try to paddle now his own canoe. He said if we would give him work, he'd do the best he could, though he didn't know straight up about a cow. So the boss he cut him out a mount and kindly put him on, for he sorta liked that little stray somehow. He learned him to wrangle horses and try to know them all, and get them in by daylight if he could. To follow the Chuck Wagon and always hitch the team, and help the coast near old Russellwood. He had driven to Red River, the weather had been fine. We'd camped down on the south side in a bend. When a norther commenced blowing, we doubled up our guard, for it took all hands to hold the cattle then. Little Joe the Wrangler was called out with the rest, and scarcely had the kid got to the herd, when the cattle they stampeded like a hailstorm long they flew, and all of us were riding for the lead. 'Tween the streaks of lightning we could see a horse ahead, 'twas Little Joe the Wrangler in the lead. He was riding Old Blue Rocket with a slicker o'er his head, and trying to check the cattle in their speed. At last we got them milling and kinda quieted down, the extra guard back to the camp did go. But there was one a-missing, we all knew at a glance, 'twas our little Texas stray poor Wrangler Joe. Next morning just at daybreak we found where Rocket fell, down in the washout 20 feet below. Beneath his horse mashed to a pulp, his spurs had rung the knell, was our little Texas stray poor Wrangler Joe. I'm a lonely cowboy, I'm off the Texas plains. My trade is cinching saddles and pulling bridle reins, and I can twist a lasso with the greatest skill and ease, or rope and ride a bronco most anywhere I please. Whee, 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 whee. I love the rolling prairie that's far from toil and strife. Behind a bunch of longhorns I'll journey all my life. But if I had a stake, boys, it's married I would be, for the sweetest gal in this wide world just fell in love with me. When we're on the trail, boys, where dusty billows rise, it's 50 miles from water, the grass is scorching dry. The boss is mad and ringy, as you can plainly see, and I want to leave the trail, boys, and an honest farmer be. But when it comes a rain, boys, one of the gentle kind, the lakes will fill with water, the grass is waving fine. The boss will shed his frown, boys, and a pleasant smile you see. I'm bound to follow the Lone Star Trail and the roving cowboy be. Well, when we get them bedded down, I'm sure it's for the night. Some horse will shake his saddle and give the herd a fright. They'll all bound to their feet, boys, and madly dash away. But in a moment's time, boys, you'll hear some cowboy say, Again we get them bedded down, I'm feeling most forlorn. A cloud will rise in the west with lightning on their horns. The boss will ride around and say your pay you'll get in gold. I'm bound to follow the Lone Star Trail until I am too old. I was hanging round town, just wasting my time, right out of a job and not making a dime, when a stranger steps up and he says, I suppose that you're a bronc rider by the looks of your clothes. You figured me right, I'm a good one I claim. Do you happen to have any bad ones to tame? He says, oh, I've got one that's a bad one to buck. At throwing bronc riders, he's had lots of luck. Well, he pulls out a 10-spot, I says, I'm your man, for the bronc never lived that I couldn't fan. So he says, get your saddle and I'll give you a chance. We hopped in the buckboard and rode to the ranch. Well, down in the corral, standing alone, was an old caballo with strawberry roan. He had little pin ears that were crimped at the tip, and a big 44 branded on his left hip. His legs are all spavined, he's got pigeon toes, little pig eyes and a big Roman nose. He's ewe-necked and old with a long lower jaw. You can see at a glance he's a regular outlaw. Well, I buckled my spurs, was feeling just fine. I pulled down my hat and I curled up my twine. I piled my loop on him, and well I knew then, if I rode that old pony, I'd sure earn my 10. He bowed his old neck and I'd say he unwound. He seemed to quit living down there on the ground. He went up in the east and came down in the west, with me sitting on him a-doing my best. Well, I loses my stirrup and also my hat. I'm clawing at leather as blind as a bat. He's the worst bucking bronco I've seen on the range. He can turn on a nickel and give you some change. He kicked up his heels, went way up on high, left me sitting on nothing way up in the sky. I turned over twice as I came down to earth, and started in cussing the day of his birth. I found there's still ponies that I cannot ride. There's some of them living and they haven't all died. But I'll bet all my money that no man alive can stay on old Strawberry when he makes his high dive. Come, all of you people, I pray you draw near. A comical ditty you all shall hear. The boys in this country, they try to advance by courting the ladies and learning to dance. And they're down, down and they're down. They'll go to their parties, their whiskey they'll take, and out in the dark their bottles they'll break. You'll hear someone say there's a bottle out here, so come around boys and we'll all take a share. And they're down, down and they're down. They'll go in the dance hall with spurs on their heel. They'll get them a partner to dance the next reel, saying, how do I look in my new brown tweed suit, with my pants stuffed way down in the top of my boot? And they're down, down and they're down. Now I think it's quite time to leave off of these lads, for here are some girls that are fully as bad. They'll trim up their dresses and curl up their hair, and then like an owl in the glass they will stare, and they're down, down and they're down. The girls in this country, they grin like a cat, with giggling and laughing, don't know what they're at. They think that they're pretty as well as quite wise, but they couldn't get married to save their two eyes. But they're down, down and they're down. You can tell a good girl there wherever she's found. No trimming, no lace, no nonsense around, with a fine long-eared bonnet tied under her chin, and long shiny tresses and plenty within. And they're down, down and they're down. Now I think it's high time for this ditty to end. If there's anyone here that it will offend, if there's anyone here that thinks it amiss, just come around now, give the singer a kiss. And they're down, down and they're down. Well, since my friend you ask me what makes me sad and still, and why my brow is darkened like the clouds upon the hill, run in your pony closer, I'll tell to you the tale of Utah Carroll, my partner, and his last ride on the trail. Well, rounding up one morning, our work was almost done, when off the cattle started on a mad and fearful run. The boss's little daughter, who was riding on that side, rushed in to turn the cattle, 'twas there my partner died. She saw the cattle charging and turned her pony round, then her red blanket loosened and dragged upon the ground. So reaching from her saddle, she bent to get it tied, and then she lost her balance in front of that wild tide. 50 yards behind her, Utah came riding fast, and little did he think then that ride would be his last. Lo, he swept down as he passed her and caught her in his arms. I thought he had succeeded and was safe from future harm. Such weight upon those cinches had ne'er been put before. The hind cinch snapped asunder and he lay beside Lenore. As the girl fell from her pony, she had dragged the blanket down, and it was there beside her as she lay upon the ground. Reaching quickly for her blanket, he waved it o'er his head, and shouted to his comrade, "Lie still, Lenore," he said. He turned the maddened cattle from Lenore, his little friend. The mighty herd rushed on him, and he turned to meet his end. His pistol flashed like lightning, the reports were loud and clear. Still the herd came rushing onward, though he dropped the leading steer. Soon the cattle were upon him, and my partner had to fall, never more to cinch a bronco, nor to give a cattle call. And when we got up to him, there his broken body lay. He gave his life, but saved his friend on that eventful day. Every boy upon the cow ranch knew how bravely Utah died. They passed his grave with sorrow, and they spoke his name with pride. All day on the prairie in the saddle I ride, not even a dog boys to trot by my side. My fire I must kindle with the chips gathered round, and boil my own coffee without being ground. I wash in a pool, I wipe on a sack, I carry my wardrobe all on my back. For want of an oven, I cook in a pot, and sleep on the ground for want of a cot. My ceiling's the Sky Boys, my floor is the grass, my music's the lowing of herds as they pass. My books are the brooks and my sermons the stones, my parson's a wolf on his pulpit of bones. And then if my cooking is not so complete, you cannot blame me for wanting to eat. But show me the man, boys, who sleeps more profound than this big cowpuncher who sleeps on the ground.